morning, Dick, Scott, and Mark, and the rest of the Brew crew. Dick, if you can kindly put me down for a small town, and if there's an option for a moat with crops and electric fence, I'll take those options as well. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day. It's 70 degrees down here in South Florida and raining. We're supposed to get rain throughout the week. So, it's coming up for alligator breeding season, Dick, and we need all the water we can get. M3SQR, back to net.
Righty. Nope, only answers are small towns or big cities today. Easy logging day, and so far, big cities have not been a big hit. NA2B, good morning there, Mr. Sun City, Florida.
On the net here in Tampa Bay. 67 this morning, getting some much needed rain. Response to the question would be small town. Actually, we moved in here, it was relatively small town, and since got populated in the last 30 years. So we do go to Georgia, Northern Mountains, and there's a small town we visit there, but we never put the name of the town out to kind of get you. Back to you, Dick. WBQ and A2B.
Thanks, Charlie. Well, I just asked Google what a small town is. It said 5,000 or under. So there you go. If Google's got it, you know it's true. Miami, W4AEB, good morning.
Good morning, Dick, and everyone on the Morning Brew. This is Armand in Miami, a miserable day, but dealing with it. I grew up in a small town, which is no longer a small town anymore, and now as an adult, and I say that term loosely, I prefer the big city, especially being in Miami, because there's so much to do, and I love the chaos. So, everyone, 7-3, have a good day. W4AEB, back to net.
For you, I think that's our first one for big city. Charles in Syracuse, KD2YUY.
Good morning, Dick, and Scott, and everybody else listening on the Brew. Yeah, I live in a city and had to, I worked and retired from that city, and still here. However, vacationing and travel and summer and camping, and I like less crowds. In fact, now I even avoid downtown as much as I can. Hope that answers your question. 73, all back to net control, KD2YUY.
Got you down for small towns. Good morning to Mark, N0CKV.
Morning, Dick, Mark, the rest of the Brew crew, everybody else on the net. I prefer small town. Everybody have a great Tuesday, and the back to net.
Good question. Someday, what's the population of your town? Could give that a couple-day notice so everybody could look it up. That might be an interesting question. Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Chuck, tell me about a small town.
Morning, Dick, Scott, Mark, and everybody on the Brew there. Small town. I consider Newcastle a small town. With that, send it back to you. Have a great day. W3CVE.
I've been through Newcastle, but I can't remember where I was going. But every time you come up, I say, I've been there. Thanks for being here, Chuck. Let's move on to KB3EYR. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick, Scott, Mark, everybody on the Brew crew this morning. This is KB3EYR, and definitely small town for me. Have a great day. Back to net control.
what's it going to be? KM7BIO. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick, everybody on the crew. Yeah, I agree with the earlier guy in Florida. When you're younger, you kind of think there's nothing to do. You want to be in that big city. Get older, I'm shooting for small towns where people wave at you when you drive by them. And then eventually, no towns. So, small towns for me, Dick. And 7, back to that. Have a good day.
Well, you as well, JC. Thanks for getting up early to come play with us in the morning. Fernando in Leesburg, Florida. Nice to have met you the other night, Fernando. KVL.
Good morning, Dick. It was nice to meet you. Good morning to Scott, Mark, and everyone else on the net. By a little bit of a margin, I do prefer a small town. Absolutely. Back to net control. This is KR4KVL.
Thank you, sir. Brian in Corfu. Now, Corfu is a small town that I know, so I'll bet you that's going to be your answer, Brian. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick. Correct, sir. Greetings from snow-covered Corfu. The farm just to the south of us actually has more cows than we have people, and that's the way it should be. Been to the city and don't really like it. I'll stay where I am. Back to you guys. Everyone have a great day.
Like that. When I come into Corfu, I'll look for the sign. This town has more cows than people. Good morning to Jimmy. KD2 or KD9YUZ.
Good morning, Dick and Scott and Mark, everybody out there on the crew. Well, I lived in the country my entire life and wouldn't trade it for anything, but I would go to a small town if it was necessary. Got nothing at all for a big city, so everybody can have that. Have a great day, everybody. KD9YUZ, back to net.
Jimmy, thanks for coming every morning. Charles in Raleigh, North Carolina. I think that pretty much answers it, right? K4RGH, good morning.
Well, good morning from Raleigh, North Carolina, 46 degrees, and mark me down for the big city. RGN, back to net.
Just looking what I got for my temperature guesser says 20, excuse me, 27 this morning. So it's cold there in Western New York. Doug, KB2BON. KJ4ZFM. KJ4ZFM. Trying to check in. We're not taking check-ins. I'm looking for Doug. KB2BON. Heard from Doug. Let's go to our last text check-in, and this group was Richard from Paris, Texas. KB9CSP. Good morning, Richard.
Yeah, with Bravo 9 Chicago-style pizza. I know that's going to be a sore spot with you, Dick. I have to say big city because more places to eat anytime I want and transportation anytime I need. That's my answer. And hello to all the other Texans from little tiny Paris. Back to you, WB9CFP.
All right, let's move on down a little bit, Mark. Let's go to down to Charles, KR4AEG. Good morning, Charles.
Mark, everybody on the crew. Good me down for small town. I would rather be in a small town. Less traffic. More easier to get around. KO4 HG back to net control.
Town it is, Charles. Rudy, Phil, North Carolina, KN4RW.
Yeah, good morning, everybody on the net. This is KN4W. Well, I'm in a small town category at Smithfield. It's a situation here. So, with that, that's about it. Net control 73 tall. KN4W.
You might want to go down just a couple of clicks on your outbound audio. A little bit distorted on voice speaks there, Rudy. David in Houston, W5DBS.
Great big Texas howdy to everybody on the crew this morning. I've only lived in Houston, so a big city with the convenience and everything like that, so it happened to be a big city for me. And it's easy to fall asleep being lulled asleep by the gunshots at night. Back to the net. Enjoy it, guys.
Right. We'll accept that as an answer. KD Texas. Morning, Brian.
Good morning, Brew Crew. I really think there should be a third answer here because I do not prefer big cities. I don't want to live in a small town. But suburbia, which is on the outside of the big city, is the place. Since if I have to choose big city or small town, it has to be big city for the convenience, diversity, and variety. I think I'll just be too bored in a small town with not as much to do. Back to you, net control. This is W5GHR.
And no, this is easy logging Thursday. Or Tuesday. There's only two answers. Big city or small town today. Tim in Windsor. Good morning. VE3GN.
Morning, Dick and Scott and everybody. We're a big city. I lived in a small town when I was younger, but I've been in Windsor 40 years now. I like Windsor there. So back to you. Have a good day. Thanks for being there. 73 is all. CQ3TC and have a nice thing, 73.
Certainly you have a nice day as well, Bill, and we got you down for a big city. North Fort Myers, Florida. What's it going to be, Bill?
Good morning. It's going to be a small town. I've lived in big cities and small towns, and I prefer the small towns. They're much slower and a lot of people there every week. It's just a lot of good things there. Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's 7 degrees here and cloudy. I think it might rain. So, okay. This is interesting. I love hearing this stuff. Okay, you did. This is WAWHK 73.
Bill, we certainly look forward to you guys every morning. Jenzik, good morning. VA3KTJ. Are you still with me? VE3KTJ. Bit short on time. Many days he's in and out. How about Bill in Dunville? VA3YBS. Good morning, Bill. And this is Dick, WB2JPQ.
Good morning. Good morning, Dick. This is VA3 YBS, Bill in Dunville. It's 25 degrees here this morning. And I think big cities are a nice place to visit, but the place to live is in a small town, which I've done all my life. Back to you, Dick. Thanks for doing the net this morning. VA3 YBS.
This is a VA3 KTJ.
Go ahead, Jenzik. Well, maybe he had an early bus out of town. Go ahead.
Good morning, Dick. Probably I lost my signal. Small town. Have a great day, everyone. Back to Night Control. This is VA3 KTJ.
Small town it is. Good morning to Bill and to BH.
Good morning, Dick, Scott, Mark, everybody. Small town for me. Lived in the country most of my life and wouldn't have anything different. N2BH.
It looks like small town is going to be predominant here today. Harry, East Islip, New York, KC2KHT.
That's KC2KHT out.
Harry, I didn't get your answer. You were a little noisy. You want to repeat your answer?
Sorry about that. I just reprogrammed I was just trying out for this. Hope you can hear me a little better now. I'm going to go with small town, KC2KHT out.
Harry, yep, we heard you much better that time. Let's roll up here a little bit, Mark, and see if we can clear our board up. We got Jeff in here for a while from Lancaster. Good morning, Jeff. N2VLK. Morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Dick, Mark, everybody else. Hope you all have a good day today. And I want my favorite of small towns. And I'll turn it back to you. 7-3.
Jeff. Madison. Wait a minute. Rod. WDKOB.
This is WDKOB. Well, good morning, Matt. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. And, well, my answer is really easy. Small town. Have a great day, guys. WDKOB, back to that.
Rod, next up is Dave. He's going to tell us all about Ypsilanti, Michigan. Good morning, Dave.
Well, good morning, Dick, and everyone on the Brew crew this morning. This is Dave. I'm in Ypsilanti, southeastern Michigan. That's 30 miles due west of Detroit. And I thought Ypsilanti would have been a medium-sized town, but if Google says a small town is 5,000 people, put me down for the big city, Dick. WBAODF, and I'll see you on tonight's net.
Well, Roger and I should be here tonight at 8 o'clock, guys and gals. This is our weekly East Coast Reflector TechNet. Just said to the guys this morning, we're coming up in another couple of weeks for 13 years for that net. So come support us at 8 o'clock tonight. Elmer in Allen Park, KB5NJU.
Damn, I gotta adjust my volume.
as I drove right through the heart of Detroit. And I do love a big city. Lived in small towns, they're great, but I prefer the convenience and having things to do that are not available in other smaller towns. 7-3 all, KB5 NJU Mobile.
14 miles for a quart of milk like I do. Round trip. Good morning to Jose, KE2AJO in the Bronx. I think we've answered your question for you. AJO, are you still with me? Mark, I'll let you make the decision on that, but boy, in the Bronx, I guess that would definitely be a big city. Fred, Lake City, Florida. Tell us about Lake City, Fred, KK4DUK.
KK4DUK, this is Fred in Lake City. Lake City is a small town, plus or minus 25,000 people, plus or minus. But coming up a military brat, my dad was in the Army, definitely lived in small places as well as big places. To answer the question, I prefer a small town. People are a lot friendlier. KK4DUK, turning it back over to Net Control 73.
Let's go to Gary, Woodhaven, Michigan. N8ZFH, good morning.
Morning, Dick, Scott, Mark, and everybody online. Oh, wow, I thought it was an easy question. I'll say small town, but that 5,000 limit, that's really tough. I like a small town, downtown area. Favorite place that we lived was Salem, Mass. And that's quite big. The downtown area, everything is walkable and everybody's friendly. Please check me in and out. N8ZFH, back to Net.
Don't go with that 5,000 either, Gary. Maybe Google wasn't woke up yet when I asked him. Adam in Boca Raton, N3NKI, good morning.
Okay, Joe, for a quick second.
More check-ins in just a minute. I'm looking for Adam, Boca Raton, Florida, N3NKI. For Adam, maybe he couldn't wait. Bob, NW3ICQ, good morning.
Good morning, Dick. Good morning, everybody. I'm definitely a small town person. Grew up in a small town. Love it. CQ, back to the Net.
Small town it is. Randy, W2RBC. Good morning, Randy.
Back to Net Control, 73 to all, W2RBC.
I think I keyed up over the top of you. I'm assuming it was small town. What about KJ5LJJ? Good morning.
Brew. The answer to the question put today is small town. KJ5LJJ, back to you, Net Control.
Up is Anna. She kind of let me down on Saturday for our coloring contest here, but she had good reasons. Good morning, Anna.
Good morning, Dick, and everyone else in there this morning. Well, I just got to tell you that Ray and I had a wonderful day on our date on Saturday. I have lived in both, but I like small towns better. 83 AJN.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but where did Ray take you on Saturday on your date?
We went downtown Beaver, and we went to the bakery and got some Easter bread, had lunch, and then we like to sit on the street. They have tables and it was a very nice day. So we sat outside until the bus came back and picked us up. It was very nice.
Well, it certainly sounds nice. Thanks for sharing that, Anna. You really have a great day. Let's move on to Bob in Ecorse, Michigan, KQ8U. Morning, Bob.
Morning, Dick, Scott, and Mark. Small town for me. I live in a town so small that the welcome to and you and I'll leave these signs on the same pole. Have a good day. KQ8U, back to net.
That one put a smile on my face, Bob. Welcome to it. Thanks for visiting, right? On the same post. Peter in Cortland, W2PM.
Good morning, Dick, and everybody on the Brew. I've never lived in a big city, so I can't do the comparison, but I think I would probably have to say town, because that's all I've ever known. W2PMS, back to net. Have a good day, everybody.
You as well, Peter. Let's see what Richard from Sumner, South Carolina's got to say. N4RSM, good morning.
Good morning, everyone on the Brew Crew. Put me down for a small town. Thank you. Back to you.
What town it is? Valley Springs, California. Mike? Been on here for a long time, but I know nothing about Valley Springs. K6AAN, good morning.
Well, good morning, Dick, and everybody on the Brew. I grew up in Stockton, but started working, and after a few years, it was in a small town. So Valley Springs is about 30 miles east of Stockton, Dick, and same thing here. Long way to the nearest store. This is K6A, and back to you.
Thank you, Mike, for sharing that. Our friend Bill in Hops, New Mexico, K5PMI. Morning.
Good morning, Dick, everybody on the Brew. Small town for me, sir. Hope everybody has a great day. KF5PMI. Back to net.
Bill, and my neighbor across the field, Bob. Good morning, Bob. KC2JZE.
Good morning to you up there. I grew up in Hamburg, Dick. Is that a small town? 55,000, 60,000 people? So I'll say small town. Back to that. Have a great day, everyone. KC2JZE.
You have to be, I consider that a small town, Bob. I live in Eden, but we don't ever go to Eden. It's your way and into Hamburg, everything that we do. Jose, he called back in KE2AKO from the Bronx. Did you call back in, Jose?
Yeah, everybody on the Brew Crew. I was trying to ask you back earlier when you called, but it seems like my radio was frozen. Kind of weird. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, stay challenged and having a great day. Born and raised in New York City, but after being in the military for 10 years, I definitely would go for a nice, small city. 73 to all. Have a great day. Kilo, go to Alpha Juliet Oscar.
There, we've got you down for us. Ariel. Just jumped into the Zoom room here as well, W4RHC. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. This is Whiskey 4, Romeo Charlie in Mobile I-75. Heading to Ocala probably this morning for more service calls. The story of my life. But I live in a very small town in Alachua. It's located right in the middle of Central Florida. The town is only 10 square miles with a population of 6,500 people. Gainesville is a little bit bigger of a city, but I came from Miami, and that was big. But I've been here 36 years in Alachua County, and I also came from a very small town in Cuba, Cojimar, where the Old Man and the Sea movie was filmed for the first time. The population was probably 500 people or less. We didn't even have a traffic light. So I like a small town, but I'm talking I like to be closer to the city. And the older you get, the better you get closer to the city to go to the hospital and go and see the doctors. That's just the way it goes sometimes. But I like both, the city and the small town. But Alachua is very small. This is Whiskey 4, Romeo Charlie, I-75, Gainesville, Florida, home of the Florida Gators. Back to
All right, Ariel, we've got you down for the small town. Well, good morning again, everyone. This is Scott N7FGP in Jamestown, New York, and this is the Morning Brew on the East Coast Reflector, where it is 8 o'clock here on the East Coast. All right, we are looking for some more check-ins. So, first of all, if you would like to use the text line and avoid all the pile-ups, you can text your call sign to 716-317-9050, or you can even email your call sign to text@ecr.radio. All right, let's call for some check-ins. Anyone, anywhere that would like to check into the Morning Brew this morning, just need your call sign twice and slowly, and let's try to space it out a little bit. Call now.
W7 OMH, W7 OMH, mobile, in and out, good morning.
Romeo Oscar November. Whiskey 2, Romeo Oscar November. Ron in Vermont. Kilo Oscar 4, India Hotel Mike. Kilo Oscar 4, India Hotel Mike.
Whiskey Delta 8.
Tango Yankee Zulu, Delta 2, Tango Yankee Zulu, in and out.
Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie. Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot. Victor Alpha, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot, pedestrian mobile.
Kilo Quebec 4, Papa Yankee X-Ray, KQ4 PYX. In and out. Good morning.
This is November 1, Whiskey Echo Bravo, N1 WEB.
Kilo Delta
Kilo,
Niner
Julius
Yankee
5,
X-ray X-ray
Delta
Kilo
X-Ray Bravo,
Niner
in and out.
Yankee X-ray X-ray
Kilo,
in and out.
Julius
Small
5.
town.
Delta X-Ray Bravo, in and out. Good morning.
November 8, Hotel Lima, November. November 8, Hotel Lima, November.
Alright, everybody, let me grab it here and read back who we have. First of all, we have Mike in Grosse Pointe, Michigan, in 8LN. Good morning, Mike. Frank in Sugar Land, Texas, 5DXB, who is in and out. Good morning, Frank. Have a great day. Another Frank in Indiana, KD9YXX. We had Daryl in Lubbock, Texas, KC5CZX. We have Webb in 1WEB. Stephen, KQ4PYX, in and out. Thank you for checking in and have a great day. Vern in Canada, 3CRF. We have Bob in Ohio, W8EIC. We have Don in Roseboro, North Carolina, K04IHM. We have Ron in Milton, Vermont, W2RON. And we have Mike, who is mobile and in and out in New York, W7OMH. Thank you for checking in this morning, Mike. And so let's move on down to Ron in Milton, Vermont, W2RON. And Ron, do you prefer small towns over big cities? Over to you.
U2RON, Ron in Milton, Vermont, which is a relatively small town. But I come from New York City, and I have to eat in either place. So I really can't say one over the other. It's W2RON, back to that.
All right, Ron, thank you for checking in, and have a great day. Donald, Roseboro, North Carolina, K04IHM. Good morning, Don.
Good morning to everyone on the Morning Brew. Hope everybody's having a good morning, and we prefer small towns. We actually live right outside of a small town, so we prefer that, and hope everybody has a great week. KHM.
All right, Don, we've got you down for the small town. Bob in Sylvania, Ohio, WD8PIC. Good morning, Bob.
I'm going to go with, well, Sylvania is about 19,000, so you figure 19,000, so whatever that is there. I wouldn't want to live in any larger of a city, though. I kind of like it, but I have epilepsy and some other health issues, so I like the fact that, you know, I wouldn't want to live in a super small town because I might not have the medical services. But, you know what I mean. In that control, WD8P, where it's 25 degrees here in, just west of Toledo and sunshine. Back to net control, WD8PIC.
All right, Bob. Yeah, you know, I think 19,000 is a small town. It is to me. Anyhow, yeah, and we're at 26. So, anyhow, let's move on down and see how Vern's doing in Ontario, Canada. VA3CRF. Good morning, Vern.
Good morning, Scott, Mark, and everybody. Thank you for picking me up. It is only 18 degrees this morning, and there's a little bit of light snow falling. I was hoping we were past this. I already put away my winter and took my snow tires off. Guess I jumped the gun. In terms of the question of the day, I prefer the big city. The town we're in Waterdown, 22, maybe 24,000 people, but we're right beside Hamilton, which is 500 million, and I just love the big city. Thanks for doing it. Hope everyone has a great day, and gosh, stay warm. VA3CRF.
All right, Vern. Yeah, you know, I did the same thing, put away the winter clothes, and it's snowing today. Thank
you for checking in, and have a great day. Let's move on down to Webb in Tennessee, N1 WEB. Good morning, Webb.
Well, thank you, Scott. Good morning to the net. You can put me down for a small town. I was born in a small town, and now I feel like playing that song from John Cougar Mellencamp. So put me down for a small town, N1 WEB.
The first thing I thought of, too, when you said that. All right, Webb, thank you for checking in, and you have a great day. Let's try Daryl in Lubbock, Texas, KC5CZX. Good morning, Daryl.
Well, good morning to everybody on the Brew. Well, I've lived in big towns and little towns, and I kind of like where we're at now, which is outside of the big city, but not directly in it. So there you go, KC5CZX, back to net.
All right, Daryl, you have a great day. Frank in Indiana, KD9YXX. Good morning, Frank, and do you prefer a small town or a big city? Over to you.
A small town for sure. A small town for sure. 89 X-ray, back to net control.
All right, Frank, we got you down. Have a great day. Let's try Mike in Grosse Point, Michigan, N8 HL. And good morning, Mike.
Good morning, sir, and the crew. 86 degrees and pretty cloudy in the backyard this morning. I would say that I prefer small town over a big town. It's just more laid back and slower paced, which I seem to like. With that, everybody have a great one. N8HLN.
All right, Mike, thanks for checking in this morning, and have a great day. Let's acknowledge some text check-ins here. We have Chuck, W2EM. We have Jim in Easton, Pennsylvania. We have Robert in Deltona, Florida. In Rochester Hills, Michigan. And let's get some more radio check-ins. If you would like to check into the Morning Brew this morning, now is your chance. Just need your call sign twice and slowly. Call now.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Foxtrot Zulu Echo, KF8 FZE.
KR4 IHD, in and out, Kilo Romeo 4, India Hotel Delta.
This is Kilo Echo 8, Foxtrot Zulu Yankee, KE8, ZY, Bill.
All right, let me tell you who we picked up there. We have Bill, KE8SZY. We have David, We had Dan, KR4IHD, who was in and out. Thank you for checking in, and have a great day. David in Fraser, Michigan, KF8SZE. We have Doug, who came in on the text line, WA8CLG. Well, let's go to the top of the list here, and that's going to be with Chuck in Lancaster, New York, W2EM. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, everyone on the net this morning. I live in a small town. It's actually under 10,000, but I live close to a big city, Buffalo. So I have the best of both, but I prefer a small town. At least I feel as much as they can in a big city. But yeah, I'd rather be laid back in a smaller town. I've lived in both, and Yeah, put me down for small town. Everybody have a great day. W2EM.
All right, Chuck. Have a great day also, and we have you down for a small town. Let's try Jim in Easton, Pennsylvania, KD3ATQ. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Scott, Mark, and the rest of the Brew crew. Put me down for small town. Definitely. Back to you, KD3ATQ.
All right, Jim, we've got you down for the small town. Robert in Deltona, Florida, KJ4ZFM. Good morning, Robert. All right, let's try one more time for Robert in Deltona, Florida, KJ4ZFM. Good morning. All right, we're going to mark Robert as in and out and move on to Jeff in Rochester Hills, Michigan, KE8SMN. Good morning, Jeff. And do you prefer a small town or a big city? Over to you.
Good morning, Brew Crew. KE8SMN here. Definitely small town. My town was a lot smaller when I moved in, but I still call it a small town. KE8SMN.
All right, you down, and thanks for checking in this morning. Doug in Homosassa, Florida, WA8CLG. Good morning, Doug.
This is WA8CLG. Good morning, everybody. And put me down for a small town, but as Eric said a little while back, the advantages of being in a big city are many, being medical and your variety of things available to you. Everybody have a good day. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Doug, got you down, and yeah, there are some advantages, I will admit. But, thank you for checking in. Have a great day, and let's move on to David in Michigan, KF8FZE. Good morning, David.
Morning, Scott, and everybody on the Brew crew. Put me down for a small town. I currently have residence in both places, but just as soon as I can retire, it will be small town all the way. Everybody have a good day, and KF8FZE. Oh.
All right, David, thank you for checking in this morning, and have a great afternoon. Bill in Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan, KE8F. Good morning, Bill.
KE8FZY. So I like all the conveniences of the large town and cities. I really prefer the elbow room you get in a smaller town. So go ahead and put me down for a small town. KE8FZY. Back to you.
All right, Bill, we've got you down for a small town, and that's the bottom of my list, so it is time to check in. If you would like to check in to see through this, now is your chance. I just call twice and slowly. Please call now.
Kilo Juliet 5, Alpha X-Ray Charlie. Kilo Juliet 5, Alpha X-Ray Charlie Mobile.
3LLY and 3LLY in and out.
Kilo Charlie 3 Lima Alpha Victor, KC3 LAV.
Kilo Charlie 3, Foxtrot Golf Delta. Kilo Charlie 3, Foxtrot Golf Delta. 9 Alpha E Mike. November 9 Alpha E Mike and 9 AIM, Indiana.
B60WM, Kilo.
KE2 FLO.
Michael in
KE2 FLO. Mike Buffalo.
Juliet 5, India Whiskey, KJ5, RMW, in and out. W2, KJV, W2, KJV.
Yes, Kilo Romeo 4, Echo Charlie Sierra, in and out.
All right, let me grab it here. We had a station up there. Let me do this real quick. N9AL, we weren't quite sure of the call sign. I believe it may have been in and out. But if your call sign is similar to N9AL, please come back to the full call sign twice and slowly.
Okay, November 9 Alpha India Mike and 9 AIM.
All right, Bob, we've got you down. Thank you for checking in. Let's see if there's more radio check-ins. If you would like to check into the morning brew this morning, just need to line twice and slowly. Call now.
OWM, Kilo, Delta 8, Michael in and out.
CFT, in and out.
All right, we had a bit of a collision there. KF8E, is that correct?
KF8, GFT, Kilo Foxtrot 8, Golf Foxtrot Tango.
All right, we've got you, KF8, Golf Foxtrot Tango. Justin, it looks like you're new to the system. Thanks for checking in this morning, and you checked in and out. And I think there was another station there that tried to check in, and we didn't quite catch it. If you just tried to call in and we didn't call your name back, please call now.
KD6OWM, Kilo, Delta 6, Oscar Whiskey, Michael in.
All right, Steve, we've down KD6OWM. Thank you for checking in. And let's go ahead and move up to the top of the list here. Oh, and Lewis is mobile in Houston, Texas, KJ5AXC. Good morning, Lewis. Do you prefer small towns or big cities?
Well, I lived in the big city of Houston, and I tell you, I've been here my whole life. I think I prefer a mid-sized town. KJ5AXC, back to net 73.
All right, Lewis, we've got you down for a medium-sized town. Thanks for checking in this morning, and have a great day. Don't get caught up in too much of that Houston traffic. We had Glenn in Glen Burnie, Maryland, in 3LLY, who is in and out. Let's move on down to Mike in Lititz, Pennsylvania, KC3LAV. Good morning, Mike.
Yes, sir. Wonderful good morning to you. This is KLAV, Mike, Warwick Township, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Gorgeous, gorgeous day. 50 degrees, bright sunny skies, and we will most definitely stay in our small borough. Cool small town, you betcha. Grew up in Philly, but we sure like it out here. Thanks again. Have a great day. Good day. Okay, and great hearing Ray over there. Recovering well. Catch you later, Ray. KC3LA, be clear.
right, Mike, thank you for checking in. Let me acknowledge a few text check-ins here. We have Carlos in Hollywood, Florida, and Richard, KR4JAN. Looks like Richard is new to the system. All right, let's go back up to Ray in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, KC3FGD. Good morning, Ray.
Hey, good morning, everyone on the net. A beautiful day developing here in Lancaster County, PA. Small town for me. Lived in 3 locations, all small towns. Love them all. Everyone have a great... Oh, by the way, hi, Mike, over there in Lidditz. It's always good to hear him on the air. KC3FGD, back to net control.
All right, Ray, you have a great day. Thank you for checking in. Let's try Bob in Brownsburg, Indiana, N9 AIM. Good morning, Bob.
Well, good morning. 32 degrees. Wow, I'll tell you what a difference. 36 yesterday at 32, but the wife said, don't forget, it was warmer in Christmas than we had in Easter, but we like the small town. We moved into small town about maybe 1987, but not my reality. Everybody moved west. We got 3 times the population, but we still like a small town. Call me in. Everybody have a great Tuesday. This is November 9th. Elfie Mike from Indiana will be on the side.
All right, Bob, we've got you down for small towns. Thank you for checking in, and have a great day. Mike in Buffalo, New York, KE2FLO. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Brew Crew. Hope everyone's having a great day. As far as a small town, I would have always longed to live in a smaller town. I think I enjoyed the chaos of the city in my younger years, but now that I'm older, I would love to be out of the city into a small rural town somewhere out in the country. And with that, I'll say back to you, Net Control. Everyone enjoy your day today. This is KE2FLO. Take care.
Right, Mike, you have a great day. Tony in Homosassa, Florida, W2KJV. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Scott. You're sounding good today. Hello, everyone on the Morning Brew. A special hello to my friend Doug and neighbor. Small town for me. Hope everyone's a great day. W2KJV. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Tony, thanks for checking in this morning, and have a great day. Let's see, we're going to move on down to Steve in San Lorenzo, California. Up early this morning, KD6OWM.
5.45 repeater. WR8.
Hi, Steve, one more time in San Lorenzo, California, KD6OWM. All right, well, Steve is in and out, and move on down to Richard. Looks like Richard is new to the system, KR4JA. And good morning, Richard, and do you prefer small towns or big cities? Over to you.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning to the Brew Crew. I prefer small city or small town. I've always lived in one. And just enjoy the small town atmosphere. KR4, Indian, back to that.
All right, Richard. Well, it looks like you're new to the system, and if you have a good email address on, you'll get a welcome letter to the East Coast Reflector, and you can always find out more information about East Coast Reflector at eastcoastreflector.com, I think. Yes. All right, let's go to Carlos in Hollywood, Florida. In one CBM. Good morning, Carlos.
morning, Scott, Mark, everybody on the crew. 71, rainy down here in Florida. Great skies. Ton of water came down yesterday. It's small towns for me. Back to you, Scott, and 1 CBM.
Alrighty, thank you, Carlos. This is Dick WB. And I'm looking for new stations. Scott wiped the board clean. So anybody anywhere, let's see if I have any mobiles. Let's see if I have any mobiles this morning at the bottom of this hour. Mobiles only, call signs twice.
Kilo, Quebec 4, Oscar, Romeo Kilo, KQ4, ORK in the mobile.
Kilo 5, Yankee November uniform, K5, YNU, mobile.
Whiskey 4, Tango Foxtrot Oscar. Whiskey 4, Tango Foxtrot Oscar, mobile in and out.
Kilo Juliet 5, India Mike Whiskey, KJ5, IMW, mobile in and out.
Oh, you mobiles that are in and out, they would come in and said hi to us anyway, but we got Robert in Houston was in and out, KJ5 IMW. Jason, Lakes, Florida, W4TFO. Conroe, Texas is well represented, and I think come in the Zoom room as well. 85YNK. Why is my screen jumping? And Barry was up on the top of this list here, KQ40K. So let me go to you, Barry. You're mobile this morning, and our question, do you prefer small town or large city?
Well, good morning, Dick, and everybody on the Brew Crew. Thanks for picking me up. It's rainy 64 degrees today in Central Florida. I definitely prefer small. As a matter of fact, this is the year I'm finally building my homestead cabin on my 5 acres up in Live Oak, Florida, a nice little small town. So that's about it. Hope everybody has a great day. Back to net control, 73 KQ4. ORK in the mobile.
Kevin sounds nice. Have a nice day. Thanks for joining us here in the Morning Brew. K5YNU, good morning.
Good morning, Dick, Mark, Scott, everyone on the Morning Brew crew. I prefer the small town. Small town. I grew up in a small town, and even now, I live in a smaller town than in a big city. Back to the next one. Have a blessed day. K5YNU mobile.
See what Frank in Lancaster, New York's got to say. That's a small town, KC2JPQ. Morning, Frank.
Good morning, Dick, and everybody on the Brew. Yeah, that Lancaster is advertised as a small town feel, I guess, something like that. It's the population quite a bit. Anyhow, I prefer a small town. And we shook the snow globe last night again. We got that snow on the ground. Not much, but just enough to let you know it's not done yet. And I'll say 7-3, send it back to the net, KC2JPQ.
No, Frank, I didn't even look out. It came down here and it was dark, and I haven't even looked outside yet this morning. Robert, we missed you first time around, KJ5ZFM.
Yeah, I want to say good morning to the Brew crew. Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Vicky, and everyone out there in Brew.
Yeah, I did get missed a little bit. I don't know. I happen to be mobile. I am actually mobile, cruising down I-4 on my way to physical therapy. Anyway, I do prefer a small town, even though I am from the big city. KJ GFM.
All right, Robert. We didn't get missed. You weren't there when we called. Ron, WA2WWK. Good morning, Ron.
WGWWK. Good morning to all my friends on the Coffee Brew. Small town. I've been living for the last, 50 years. In a town that's very close to Buffalo, very close to Niagara Falls, so any of the amenities and the recreational facilities are quite available, so I'll stick with what I got. WK.
Amherst, small town. Your answers. Joe, recycle.
Good morning to the Brew Crew. Well, I like a small town because there's more of a sense of community and everything. East Islip is perfect here, except that it has perpetual winter. I'm back from Florida. It was 87 degrees on Friday. It's 43 right now. Have a great day, everybody. Back to that.
Well, glad you got home safe and sound, Joe. Leo, how was your weekend? K4ITA, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Mark. I hope you can hear me. A bit of a bad spot here. Good morning from the beautiful Fort Lauderdale after a very busy weekend. Today we'll be here. Cloudy, 73 degrees, but anyway, we're gonna. Well, I grew up in a small village in northwest part of it, 1,000 people until I was 18 years old, and so I love small town. Here I live in Fort Lauderdale. I don't live in Miami. All due respect to people in Miami, which I love, but I don't like the confusion of the big city. Fort Lauderdale compared to Miami is a village, very lovely, very livable and lovely. Everybody a great day. Nice to hear you, Dick. K4ATA.
Which well, Leo, as always. Let's take some stations. Anybody, anywhere, like to get in here and share their thoughts on big town, little town with us this morning? Got about 20 minutes left. This is Dick, WB2JPQ, looking for stations twice and slowly anywhere.
Kilo Bravo 8, Papa Victor.
W2, CJM Mobile.
Correct.
Kilo Charlie 2, Uniform Victor, Quebec.
Whiskey 0 Quebec Golf. Whiskey 0 Quebec Golf. November 4 Romeo Echo. No. 4 Romeo Hotel Echo.
Charlie 5, Charlie Papa Oscar. Kilo Charlie 5, Charlie Papa Oscar.
Kilo Quebec 4, Yankee none. Good Lord, I can't even remember my call sign. KQ4, YYN, Joe in Georgia.
Whiskey 4 Romeo Kilo Delta. Good morning.
Number 3, Mike Papa Echo, N3MPE. Good morning.
9 Hotel in Foxtrot. Whiskey 9 Hotel India Foxtrot.
N3MPE, November 3, Mike Papa Echo. sounds like a good place to stop. That was a pretty good call-up. Great job, Mark. Leland, Athens, Georgia. W5HIF. Guess we heard you twice in there. N3MPE, we got you. We got David in Orlando. W4RKD. Looks like you're new to the Morning Brew, David. We'll be with you in a minute. Joe, KQ4YYN. W2CJM. Good morning to you, Charles. David, KC5CPO. Roger, N5RAG. W0QB. Phil just headed up on top of the list here. KC2UVQ. Okay, Chris, you're up at the top. Chris, let me scroll up a little further to find you from Novi, Michigan. KB8PLV. Sounds like a pretty good list to run here over the next couple of minutes. See that we've added a couple text check-ins as well. We got Andy from Chickawawa and my friend Angelo from New Orleans, Louisiana. Up to you, Chris. And the question, once again, for everybody that's just coming in, do you prefer small towns over big towns? Good morning.
Good morning to everyone on the net. Thanks for letting us start off the day with some great questions. Put me down for small towns. It's where I grew up. I raised my bigger suburbia, but I'll be glad to move back to the small towns when retirement comes. Everyone have a great week ahead. This is KB8PLV, back to net.
Hey, Chris. What about Phil? Now just listen to this. This is Phil in Valley Stream, New York. Close your eyes and imagine what Valley Stream, New York is. Phil, tell us about it.
Good morning, Dick. On the Morning Brew. I lived in both. Grew up actually in one of the 5 boroughs of New York City. And I also lived upstate New York, and I, without a doubt, I definitely prefer the small town. This is KC2UVQ, back to that.
All right, I was picturing this nice log cabin along a beautiful fishing stream. Phil, you'll have to tell us a little bit more sometime. W0QG, Devin from Austin, Texas. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dick and the Brew Crew. You can put me down for Big Town. I like the events and all that the Big Town brings. Hope everybody has a great Tuesday. Back in control.
Getting some big towns in here to even it out a little bit. Thank you. Roger from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. N4RAG.
W2JPQ, good morning, Godfather. Always good to hear you. And Marksman Mark, November 4, Romy Teleco. As you know, Dick, from Vero Beach to Homestead, it's all landfall. I prefer along the coast at sea level. Coastal areas represent less than 10% of the U.S. landmass, but have almost 40% of the U.S. population, so I believe the majority of people live in large towns, even if they would prefer small towns. I'm fortunate to live where I choose, ride a bike to the grocery store or pharmacy, doctor's office, hospital, and ocean, all within 6 miles. November 4, enthusiast, return to net.
And certainly, Roger, employment dictates pretty much where you're going to live sometime in your career. How about Dave? KC5CPO, good morning.
Well, good morning, Dick, and the Brew Crew, and those behind the curtain in the Zoom room making the magic happen. I currently live out in the country. Love it out there. And yet I'm still close enough to Fort Worth, the big city, where I can find gainful employment. So I like it out in the country, so small town it is for me. 7-3, everyone have a blessed morning, Thanks for taking my check-in. KC5CPO.
Thanks, Dave. Great sounding note. Charles, Selden, New York, W2CJM. Good morning, Charles. In Mobile, Mark. I picked them out of the pile up there. How about Joe? KQ4YYN. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Dick, Mrs. Vicky. Good morning, everybody on the repeater system. I prefer small towns more than that. I prefer the country. I've lived in big cities over in Europe and in America, and we live in the country now, a little small 1 acre spot of land, but we see deer that come up in the yard sometimes, and we see and hear wild turkey in the yards. And we have dogs, so much prefer the country or the small town, sir. And thank you for hearing me in there this morning. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody had a great Easter. Back on you, Mr. Dick, KQ4YYN.
You have a very nice Easter, Joe. Thank you for asking. Let me go to David in Orlando, Florida. Now, there's the big city, and David, W4RKD. David, you're new to the Morning Brew. Welcome.
I am new. I just got my my license about a month ago and changed it to a vanity sign. I grew up in Rockland. That's why I went with the RKD for my call sign, but I prefer a small town. I grew up in a small town. Live in a big city now, but I still prefer the small town. I'm glad to be on this. This is awesome. Glad to have my license. I appreciate the call out this morning. Whiskey 4 Romeo Kilo Delta. Back to net.
Somebody's here Monday through Friday from 7 to 9, except for holidays. Thanks for joining us, and you're lucky that you have our downtown Orlando repeater in range. You certainly sound good. Samuel, good morning. N3MPE. N3MPE. Samuel, are you still with me?
Yes, good morning, good morning. Sorry for the delay. I'm from Washington, D.C., and they should have paid you combat pay to live in that city. We moved to Maryland, and people up there call it Hickstown, but I love the country, and I love these small towns. Everybody knows everybody else's business, but I don't care. N3MPE, and thank you, Dick and Miss Vicky. Good day.
We were just talking about Washington and the Beltway and so forth in the Zoom room here a week or so ago. Yes, I know all about it. Driving around Washington. Leland, Georgia, W9HIF. Good morning.
This is W9HIF, Athens, Georgia, where things are still a little nippy here, 48 degrees, but I'm up and I'm getting dressed, and I'll be in and out for this morning, but sounds like everybody had a happy Easter at least. W9HIF.
Thank you, Leland. A little chilly down there as well. Andy, good morning from Cheektowaga, New York, W2AJR.
Good morning, Dick, and everybody on the Brew Crew. I prefer the small town, and if they'll ever let me retire, that's where my XYL and I will be heading. Back to you, Dick. 73, everybody. Have a great day.
key word in there was if, right? If they let me retire. We'll have to talk. I haven't caught up with you on what's going on. Angelo, good morning. N5UXT.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, on the Brew Crew. This is M5UXT. I guess I have an answer. I've never lived in a small town. It's always interested me. So I guess I'm up in the air with that. Hope everybody has a great morning. 5UXT Mobile.
Thanks, Angelo. Thanks for always having a repeater connected to East Coast Reflector for many, many years. Eddie up in Peru. Now, Peru is a relatively small town, W3WBB. Good morning. Eddie from Peru, New York, W3WBB. Are you still with me?
Traffic has more towns than people, and that's absolutely the way I like it. I travel for work many cities in the U.S. and abroad, and I'm always happy to come home. On the morning chat station and back to Connect Control.
I know you're fairly new to the Brew. I see you coming in on a digital mode. You have the Plattsburgh repeater up there, which covers Peru like a blanket. So you make sure you're aware of that. It's a VHF. I can't tell you the frequencies right offhand, but we can get them if you don't know about it. They've been with us for about 20 years. Gil in Orlando, K4GDS. Good morning. K4GDS. Gil, are you with me?
Good morning, Dick, and on the Brew. My preference is a town, but I always seem to end up at big ones. K4GDS, back to that.
One for the small towns column. Oh, good. I see you in the Zoom. I wanted to catch up with you after if you can hang in there for another 10 minutes. I'll be in. Good morning to Jason. Boy, it's nice to have you back in town for a week, Jason. K4KU.
Hey, good morning, Dick and Vicky. Actually, I'm not back in town in Mexico City today, and I prefer big cities. So Mexico City is a great place to explore. I'll be here for the week for a big hackathon, and hope everyone has a great day. This is K4KU back to net.
We're going to have to take a few minutes and find out what all these things hackathon. We're going to need to find out what you really do with those old boards. Thanks for being there. Good morning to Darrow, Concord, New Hampshire, WB1DXN.
Good morning, Mark and Dick and the rest of the morning crew, WB1DXN, small town. And everybody have a safe day, and always expect the unexpected. Have a way out, WB1DXN.
Next up is my friend Joe from Orange City, Florida, KK4MOW. Well, you're in a small town, Joe. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dick. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Vicky. Hope you're better. Yeah, I'm KK4MOW. Sorry about that. Orange City, Florida. This is Joe. Yeah, I like the little cities. That way everybody knows my name. I don't have to get lost. But I'm on the outskirts of the big city over here. They call it the Little O, but it's kind of big. You get right out down that road, you'll know all the traffic. All right, back to the net, Dick. Have a good day. KK4MOW.
Into your street, and you're on 1792, and you could go anywhere from there, right, Joe? Thanks for being there. I certainly wish all the years I wintered in Orange City. I wish I would have known you then. You were so close to me. Terry's last on the list from Austin, Texas, N5RTC. Terry?
Good morning, Dick, and all the morning brewers. Small towns for me, Dick. Small towns for 100. N5 RTC, back to net control.
Small towns for 100 it is. Let's see if we have any stations that would like to get in and out here today that maybe really have it. Honestly, you have to just get in and out. So if you'd like to get on the log this morning, like to just get in and out, please give us your call sign twice, and we'll mark you in and out.
CJM, W2, CJM. Mike Whiskey, Whiskey, in and out. Good morning. CJM, W2, CJM.
KI5, GZO Mobile, in and out.
CIC. Let me hold up here. We're off to a bad start. I got Charles. We got you W2 CGM. We had you before, but apparently you stepped away. The KJ5, the KJ5 station only. I5. I'm sorry, the KI5 station.
Kilo India 5, Golf Zulu Oscar, KI5 GZO.
5 GZO. KI511 KI5. We got you. We got Jack in Rochester, Michigan, KF8 DRC rather. And there was an MMC. I heard an MMC, please. Didn't hear an MMC. Who else do I have that would like to get in and out here this morning, other than these three that I recognize?
KR4, Mike Whiskey, Whiskey. KR4, Mike Whiskey.
This is RCY Whiskey 8, Romeo Charlie Yankee.
Kilo 4, Hotel Echo Foxtrot, KQ4 HEF, in and out.
KB2LUV.
What about in and out? 22 minutes left, but KD2IWN, KD2IWN.
W2PUT, Whiskey number Papa, Uniform Tango Mobile.
Alright, let me hold up there, guys, and we'll recognize what we got. Dan, I'll get to you in just a minute. Your mobile, W2PUT Tim, and W2IWN Tim. I didn't put wind in there this time, which I have done many times. I think you said you wanted to get in and say hello. Andy, man, I haven't heard you, Andy, from Syracuse for a long time. WB2LUV, good morning to you. KQ4, I guess I recognize these guys here. If I didn't, KQ4H and Don W8RCY. Dan, your mobile. Let me send it to you real quick, and then we'll pick up Tim, and we'll call it on that here. So, good morning, Dan, W2PUT.
Good morning, Dick. Okay, in touch with the question of the day.
the answer in for you. Would you rather live in a town or a small town?
Yeah, that one isn't tough to figure out. Yep, small town. Good morning. Thanks for squeezing me in here. W2PUT Mobile, Milan, Michigan.
Yeah. Last today is Tim. And that's another small town guy, because I know where Tim lives. KD2IWN. Good morning.
Morning, Dick, and all the morning brew crew and all you morning brewers out there, settling down in your small towns like I am down here in Gowanda, New York. Beautiful valleys, what needs to be in translation is here. It's beautiful Tuesday when I got hailed upon like crazy. I had my assessment for $1,900 of damage just my car sitting out in the parking lot. But we still love our small towns. We'd never have anything else. 73, everybody. Enjoy your day. KD2IWN.
About the hailstorm that they had down in Gowanda, Tim. It was on the news. Got it broken. I guess I never thought about you being down there. Well, that'll do it for me. I'll see everybody tonight on the TechNet at 8 o'clock. Let me send it over to Scott real quick and let him say 7-3 to everybody. We kind of split the net a little bit different. We kind of like doing these half-hour sessions. Scott and I kind of like it this way. As long as Bill's okay with it, we'll keep doing it. Thanks to Mark. Great job this morning, KE2EDS. Vicki was, I meant to say that a couple of times. Vicki's on assignment here this morning. She'll be back tomorrow. Mark was in, did a superb job as always. Scott, your closing words to everybody tonight. This is Dick, WB2JPQ.
Well, thanks to everyone who checked in to the Morning Brew this morning and everybody in the background that keeps the net running smoothly. I want to thank Dick, WB2JPQ, Mark, KE2ES, and I'm going to say 7-3, everyone, and have a great day.
A1, Echo, X-ray, AB7IC. AB7ICK1EEX in Burlington, Vermont. How you doing this morning, Tom? Everything is A-OK. Dory here, Buzz. K1 Echo X-ray, AB7IC in Tucson. I take Pat over to the center this morning. She's having first cataract surgery. She's looking forward to being able to see again. Otherwise, the weather here is sunny. It's going to be 88 this afternoon, and all is going well. Back to you, Buzz. Well, give my best to Pat, and hope everything works out fine. It's 33 degrees here. They're expecting a little rain later on this afternoon. I got doctor's appointments the rest of the week. The 2-year scan and all this other stuff. They always seem to find something new, and I'm hoping they don't this year. Anyway, we'll just say everything else, though, is pretty nice. It's good. I'm well, and it's going to stay that way. So anyway, you have a good week, and like I said, give my best to Pat, and stay safe. 73s, and I'll be clear on your final. See you next Tuesday morning. Lucille, I'll be clear and checking out AB7IC. EX, I'm clear.
KN4W.
WB2JPQ. This is KQ4YYN. Mr. Dick, have you ever thought about moving back to Florida? Sounds like you kind of miss it from time to time. Just wondered if you thought about moving, and if you have thought about it, what keeps you from moving? Shoot, move your whole family down there if they want to go. KQ4YYN.
WB2JPQ from KN4W, still around? KN4W clear.
Whiskey, Quebec 9 Victor. Dick, I don't know your call sign. Are you on? This is Whiskey, Quebec 9 Victor, Brownsville, Texas. WQ9V. Standing by, listening.
Good morning, N7GZT, and I think you're probably calling WJPQ. Dick up there.
Yeah, I was trying to give him a shout, but I couldn't remember his call sign. I was going to say good morning to him. How are you doing? This is Whiskey, Quebec 9 Victor.
Oh, just out roaming around this morning. Kind of chilly. Down to the 50s today, but it's supposed to be 70s this afternoon. And by next week, up in the 90s again. So, but on the way inside, do some running around inside town.
We have 59 degrees outside right now, feeling like 61 with 92% humidity and zero wind at this time.
has been really low. We're running about 25% right now, so that's really good for us.
Right. Yeah, we always have some good humidity down here. If it ever drops down, it's an amazing day.
Yeah, okay, very good. You said you was in Brownsville?
So here on the Texas-Mexico border and the Gulf waters.
Yeah, I used to go down there and work at a TV station, one of the Fox stations down many years back, and spent about 6 or 7 years at Del Rio during the military.
Roger, roger. Well, hey, I'm going to stand by a little bit here. I'm sipping on some coffee and listening on 40 meters here. So I'm going to leave the radio in monitor mode here for a little bit and see if Dick comes back. Got a question for him. Anyway, talking to you later. Have a good day, and I'll say 7-3. Whiskey, Quebec 9, Victor.
73 is a good point, and 7 GZT.
November 0 X-ray Lima Papa.
Q9V, Whiskey, Quebec 9, Victor. Standing by, listening.
Send 0 XLP mobile and monitoring. Good morning.
WB JPQ, WB2 JPQ, Whiskey Quebec 9 Victor, are you there? I guess not. Whiskey Quebec 9 Victor. Are any of the facilitators of the East Coast Reflector listening to me? Are any of the facilitators of the East Coast Reflector listening? This is Whiskey Quebec 9 Victor. Contact Whiskey Quebec 9 Victor. Clear. Thank you. If I just reach out to your radio that lives in a noisy environment where open squelch sounds like all that buzzing, and just turn your squelch up just a little more, I would do it. KB3CS. KB3CS from Kilo November 4 Romeo Whiskey Call. Kilo November Whiskey Fox, good morning. My name is Chris. Yeah, good morning, sir. I checked in the net earlier, and my mic gain was too high, so I went in. I'm talking on the Motorola 25 XTS 2500, and adjusted the mic gain down with the echo test. I think I found a sweet spot with it. There you go.